What's going on YouTube? Ichi here. We're back with another drawing video by yours truly. And I'd like to thank you guys for subscribing and for the continued support. You know, it does mean a lot. You know, can't say it enough, but it does. You know, I see you guys' comments too, and I read them, you know. And I appreciate them very much. And without further ado, let's get into the video. This is a bit more of a lengthy video because I was compiling the footage down and I was filling in like the blacks and the tones for this piece here, and I'm like, I might as well put it on the one video, so like just trying to break it up. But you know, hopefully it doesn't discourage anyone from looking at it, because I like to keep my videos around like 15 minutes maybe, or like 10, you know, try to keep them a little short, because you know, people don't really have long attention spans, you know, unless it's something they're interested in. But I figure, you know, I might as well just put it all together, because it's the same picture. It's not like I'm doing something different, so might as well just finish it in the video. But yeah, it was filling in the blacks here for her hair. I got the shine on her hair. You can see from like the left side over here, I try to leave like a white space to show like the lights kind of reflecting off of it. Same thing like the white gaps for her hair. It's like the shine. Yeah, I gotta work with blacks more. Inks. I have to work with the shadowing more. I gotta hone that my technique for that, because like, you know, some people can create like this beautiful work without like laying down like a sketch foundation. They could just like, you know, get some ink, just like throw some solid black down and like just like construct this cool image. It's like, yo, that's dope. Or like they just like instinctively know like the shadows will be, and they will like use them in the image to like, you know, convey this really like convey this picture of like this heavy contrast, you know, because like black has like black stands out really strong on a white page. So it has you know, you can do a lot with that medium and like expressing things. Depends, is like, you know, what do you draw and like what do you shade, you know. That's the whole part of art, you know. It's like, what are you trying to represent, what are you trying to create. But I'm referring to like comics and like the American style specifically, like they feature heavy on like blacks and shadows. Yeah, just feeling on her arms, like she has this kind of like goth maid type of look to her. Like I try to combine the two like kinds of themes here, like a cafe maid and like a goth kind of a, you know, person, like dress style. Try to combine them. So she has those like arm sleeves that go up to like the past the elbow, I say, and below the shoulder. But I try to put like a shine on. I kind of messed up on the part leading towards her inner arm with the shine of the white space rather. But yeah, like I said, I need to work on my shadowing a bit more and using ink. But yeah, this is gonna be one of those videos where I just, you know, try to figure out what to talk about to entertain you guys, or just things that are just relative that was going on. I'm not gonna be political or talk about the news unless it's like really relevant to what's going on. But currently, you know, everybody's facing this coronavirus. I hope you guys are safe and doing the best you can to protect yourselves in this dire time. You know, it's I don't want to focus too much on it because it's kind of a downing topic, and I'd rather not focus on things that are too negative. But I hope you guys are doing well and being safe as best you can. Yeah. Also, I've been reading comments too as well, and a lot of people are saying to me that I'm underrated, you know, in this channel. But yeah, you can see that from like my views and my subscribers. But like I'm not trying to be like too cocky or like over what's the right word I'm looking for? Not arrogant. You know, I prefer to be like more humble, and I believe, you know, I believe that how, being that way is like how you should like kind of carry yourself. You shouldn't be too arrogant and throwing yourself around. You should have a little bit of humbleness to makes you like more easier to deal with and like be around as a person. But I do appreciate that, dude, that people think that that I appreciate the thought. So I'm trying to say that people should think that I should have more recognition. I appreciate that. Like I said, that does mean a lot coming from you guys. Yeah, wow. Only, like I said, this is a lengthy video, so we're gonna be here a while. But yep, filling in the blacks on her dress here. I didn't shade the shine in the white parts on the dress the way that I want them to be. Oh, there's a bunch of ink on my finger. I was changing out my old ink well and trying to clean it out properly because it had a little bit of like water left in there. 'Cause I was trying to get it good and empty so I can put new ink in there, which I got. My ink came in and I'm using that now. But I cleaned out the old ink well and I put in the new ink. I tried out the dip pen in it. It was flowing well, so I'm pretty sure I'll be using that more. But yeah, it's because my old ink I had gotten like 2 years ago, so you gotta like refresh your supplies like not too often, but often enough to the point that they're still fresh and usable. But yeah, this is like one of my characters. I think I mentioned that before in the other video, the sketch video of this picture. And she has special abilities tied to her using the guitar. Like I said, I don't want to give away too much, but each guitar does a different, well, each neck on the guitar does a different has a different purpose. And she has a very important role in the story, or in the world, I should say, of the story. Sorry about that. My phone is not on silent. That is very unprofessional, but we do this in one take. I don't edit really the audio really. So my Metal Gear ringtone, Metal Gear warehouse facility. Yep. For those of you who don't know, I also have a gaming channel. Ichigekix Nah, it's Ichigekix at Play Some Games. But you search my name, it pops up. But I just I'm pretty much unhinged and raw, and I just have fun, chill out, and play some games. I play a variety of things. Fighting games, action games, anything that's interesting to me. I don't really play first-person shooters though. Not really. I haven't found a good one that I really like. I've never been too big into Call of Duty. I played a few, but I digress. That's for another topic, another video. But yeah, I'm filling in my kind of mascot character here for the series. Like he's matching her with her rock aesthetic, so that's why he has like the scar and like the black vest and the armbands too. But he's an interesting character. Like I said, he's able to break the fourth wall and really add another layer of comedy and humor to the story. So, like I said, I want to make an action comedy that's has like a little bit of drama moments, but it doesn't focus too heavily. I want it to be very lighthearted, not very mature, because I don't want to have like excessive like nudity and stuff like that. Because when you have like nudity in your story, like it really it bumps up the rating, and it makes it something that you have to be more aware of your audience. Like who are you targeting this for? Is it like for like teens or young teens, preteens or young adults or adults? Like who's your target audience here? Like for this story, I'm aiming for like teenagers, young teenagers, not kids, for like 6 years old, like not kids, but like teens and young teens. that are like more aware of the world, so like they're more accepted of the humor. You know, I want it's not gonna be like super adult potty jokes, but like humor is hard to write, especially for your audience. You have to consider. You know, like adult humor is very different from kid humor, right? Like say like SpongeBob is different from like Comedy Central, right? You would say like South Park, like SpongeBob is different from South Park or Family Guy, right? Because it's different audiences that are engaged with that humor. But I found that mm, I was gonna say I found the best humor is like is suggestive, meaning that like it can be interpreted different ways, right? Because like Justice League had that in their writing for jokes, and Justice League is aimed to be like a kids shows as well as adults can also enjoy it, and that's a harder thing to do, to make your dialogue um, acceptable to the point where kids can also watch it but not be too um, what's the word, corrupted, not corrupted, that's too strong, but not influenced by what you say, but like adults can also interpret it and take it another way, right? The innuendo, right? That's essentially what it is. But that's like more skilled writing to be able to come up with that kind of content. Because, for example, in Justice League, I think, what was it? Yeah, there was a situation where Firefly was hanging out with this other Flame villainess, and I think they were handling the police, and um, Firefly he pulls out his gun. He has a flame gun. It's kind of small. So it looks like a little like a pistol. So he has a flame gun, and like the girl, the female villainess goes, "That's your weapon," and then Firefly goes, "Hey, it's not about the size, it's how you use it." Then he goes out there and he gets owned. He comes back in, and then she pats him on the shoulder, go, "Oh, it's okay, baby." Like that kind of writing is very excellent, because like it's not very explicit, but there's something there that adults can like take away from that. So that's what I mean by having that kind of humor that's like acceptable for both audiences, and it's harder to write that kind of dialogue because you have to be like aware of what you're writing, same thing with anything you do, you have to be aware of what you're doing, you know but yeah, like that's what I kind of aim to have in like my stories. It's like humor that like kids kind of laugh at. Like I said, it's not aimed for like children, it's aimed for like more teenagers and young teens, because I think that kind of humor is like, it's not easier to do, but it's like it's more comical. But you can also argue that SpongeBob has some like kind of suggestive jokes in there as well, because I see a lot of people that will take stuff from SpongeBob and they'll like kind of warp it, and you're like, oh man, this kind of like this kind of explicit here, like they'll take the characters or situation and kind of like change them up a little bit, and it's like, wow, if they went this way, like this joke would be really really controversial, and it's like funny that way, funnier I should say that way. But yeah, you have shows like that are able to achieve this level of writing, which is very um it's the right word I'm looking for. It's like you have to be very skilled to do that, to accomplish that. But yeah, I'm just filling in her tones here. The light source I want to have from her guitar, because she's sparking the guitar and going at it. So like the light's coming from the bottom, so it's casting a shadow that's going up. So that's why I shaded in her upper shoulder to her forearm and elbow and her wrist. And that's why her like thighs are being like highlighted the same way as well. I'm trying to keep in mind the light source, because you have to be aware of that when you shade in shadows, like where's the light coming from and how heavy is the shadow being cast. So yeah, I'm just doing that right now. But yeah, are you guys excited for Bleach coming back? I know I haven't talked about that yet. Like Bleach was such a big deal back in the day, I tell you. Like there used to be the big three. People talk about it a lot in Shonen Jump, or people who are aware of Shonen Jump know about this. The big three consists of Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece, and they ran in Shonen Jump for a long time, at least like a good decade. and you know, Bleach obviously fell off because you know its story was constructed a way that when I'm not going to spoil anything, just for people who are like, you know, conscious of spoilers. I'm not that type of person. I hate spoilers with a passion, especially if it's something I care about. But you know, on the other hand, it's like Bleach been out for a long time, so if you aren't aware of the news, you should be informed. But like I said, I'm not going to spoil, so no worries. But like I said, Bleach was constructed a way that when his story peaked at a certain point, fans felt satisfied with the conclusion. So there was no point in. A lot of people lost interest, in other words. But the story still continued though. But a lot of people had lost interest because it had concluded in a way that felt satisfying, I would say. And I was one of those people, sadly enough. And then the arc after, the arc that came after wasn't very good, in my opinion. A lot of people like try to justify it, but it wasn't. But and that was the arc that Bleach ended on, was the Lost Badge arc, or whatever you want to call it. I think that's what it's called. Because like I said, I'm not too familiar with it because I couldn't get into it. I tried it multiple times, but it can never hold my interest. But the anime is coming back. Actually, Taikuba has a lot of stuff going on. I watched the live stream from Viz Media that was talking about his projects that he had coming up. After he did Bleach, he did another comic called Burn the Witch, and that's getting an anime film adaptation, I believe. Also, because I used to be a big Bleach fan, like a lot of people were in Shonen Jump, because Bleach it wasn't revolutionary, but it definitely made an impact on a lot of people and a lot of artists, especially because you see it in their art style. Bleach still has that impression on people. You can see it in their art. Hell, you can see it even in my art sometimes. Because Bleach art was so good. Like Taikuba was so good at drawing interesting characters, and that's what made Bleach so appealing. Because his characters looked more mature than they were supposed to. Because it was a story about like high school kids, but usually in anime, like kids are looking very young. But Bleach art style and his characters made them look more mature than they were. So Bleach had like more of a it had more of an adult feel to it. So that's why a lot of people was more interested in that world, in his characters. And arguably enough, that I would say that the best characters in Bleach are the Soul Reapers, because they're just the most interesting. And maybe they're wrong cards, but nobody like really likes the humans too much. I don't. I think they're like the least interesting part of Bleach. But regardless, I digress. Bleach is coming back. The anime is coming back, but excuse me. But they're gonna be animating the last arc of the season. I mean, of the series, which is the 1,000-year Blood War. I know nothing about this arc. I looked at a little bit of it when people were talking about it, so I know what's gonna happen. Because you know you can't avoid spoilers if you look into sort of things. But other than that, I don't know no details or anything. I know bits and pieces. Like I said, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but that's supposed to be like one of the highly anticipated arcs that happened in Bleach. But the sad part is that this came out after people had lost interest in Bleach, so you know it kind of sucks that you know people are unaware of this art. Like you know people like me, I would say, and how important it would be, you know, because like back when you know things were consistent in Bleach, and you know if that arc was foreshadowed, like people would have stuck around, and Bleach would have gotten more attention than it did, or the people, it would have kept its fan base, I'm trying to say. But yeah, I'm just still filling in the blacks here, and keeping in mind the lights and the shadows. I just want to talk about the picture for a bit, because I should have commentary for the picture, not just regular commentary at all. But like the white gaps, I'm trying to experiment with something new, so I'm gonna leave white gaps and then fill them in with like kind of just cross shading to get this different look to it, rather than just fill them with black. So I want to transition from dark to light by using like cross shading. That's why her arm, you see her that's holding the guitar neck, it's like has this big white gap in it. So I'm gonna fill in the transition from the white part to the black part with cross hatching. and I just lightened up the ink. I diluted it more, or no, I added more darkness to it, more ink, but it's also diluted to give the guitar like a solid contrast for just like from black to white, because it needs like a more solid gray, just so you can have, you know, something to compare all these colors to, because it's too much black in my opinion. But yeah, just want to touch up on bleach just a little bit more. Yeah, like Bleach's art influenced a lot of people, a lot of artists, and like you see it in their art even to this day. Because like I said, Bleach had a very distinct style. It was very influential because of how it was. It was very stylish. You know, like Taikubo really captured the look of diverse ethnic groups. Like Kubo does a good job of drawing black people, and a lot of manga artists don't even know how to draw black people, or they just draw the stereotypical black people. You know, like they give them those big round oval lips. You know what I'm talking about. Look at Jinx from Pokemon, or freaking well, that's a key example. Mr. Popo from Dragon Ball Z. You know, manga, because like they're Japanese. They don't know about Western culture. They don't know about black culture. You know. So they just go off of like each other, and they don't really do enough research. Like if you're gonna display a cultural group, like do your research. But I'm not saying that Popo and Jinx were inspired by black people, because on the contrary, Jinx was actually inspired by this Japanese, I think it's called Gyaru style. That was like tan girl style, but that was inspired by black culture. I ain't gonna lie about that. But Jinx is inspired by the Japanese fashion trend. It was big in like the 80s, 90s, but not so much now. But some Japanese people still do it. You know how weird Japan is. Like they have like cafes and groups like dedicated to that. But I think it's called Gyaru, like the tan girl style. But yeah, that's based on black culture. Like I don't know, it's not meant to be like racist. Some people interpret it that way, but like, it's not. You know, they just like tan themselves and try to take on like this like kind of hipster, not hipster, but trying to like this more hippie. Well, I can't even say that. I don't know how to describe that group of girls with clip-on nails and they're all into fashion. You know, I don't really know the right term to describe them, but yeah, I always get sidetracked in these. Wow, 20 minutes really flew by. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll check out Bleach. You know, I used to be a diehard fan, man. I used to love Bleach. A lot of people did, so that they were kind of heartbroken. Well, I felt heartbroken when after that arc was like so bad. The Lost Shinigami arc made me just lose interest in the series. Like, but regardless, can't say it enough. I appreciate you guys sticking around with me. The channels is picking up. You know, I appreciate you guys' comments and the recognition that you're giving me. I do. And just wrapping up this video, finish up the toning. Like I said, he's matching her with her rock style. And this video is going to be wrapping up soon. We covered a lot, but if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, let me know in the comments down below. I do read them. I try to make a drawing weekly, but my work schedule, especially with this coronavirus going on, it's kind of hard to be consistent, but I'll try my very best. And this has been Ichi, and I'll see you guys around for the next video. Peace.